We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
The memes going on about MLK is infuriating to me. Number one, they killed him. White America killed him.
Bro, yes.
But number two, and I think this is more important to me right now, is that it's really triggering for my mom. So
how
she
so?
because she remembers the day he died, and she remembers the heartache and the pain. Like, that is a vivid memory for her. And Allie had said something like, and really she's really great about respecting my boundaries in terms of, I am a black woman and you are a very privileged white woman, so don't talk to me about nothing. At all. What I say is what I say, and what I said is what I said, and that's what I meant. And if you're gonna help me, cool. If not, we are gonna have to go our separate fucking ways.
Right.
Excuse my French. So she had said something about how he changed the world, and I was like, I wish you would just stop saying that. Like, I flipped out, right? I'm like, y'all killed him, and it was just this whole, and she was super quiet. I just got up and went to bed. She was like, you're right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what they always, I mean, it's kind of like one of those, it's a bag, right? It's a bag of things that they can pull out. They always, I mean, that's immediately what they want to pull out is, Martin Luther King, can't we all just get along?
Be nonviolent, like MLK.
Yeah, Mother Teresa and all this other stuff. And, what was triggering for me is I did have one stranger who happened to be a white man basically come at me and say, well, we have 500 million armed white men and we'll take you guys out, basically. And I was just like,
crazy.
Whoa. Like, all this over a protest? Like, you're just looking for a reason. You're just waiting. Waiting to shoot a nigga.
Well, a lot of that, don't you ladies agree that a lot of that is white guilt and also white fear?
Yes.
I remember the movie The Django, and I remember Leonardo DiCaprio's character. He said what a lot of white people think. He was just like, I don't understand why the black man or the Negro just rise up and kill the white man. Now, this has been a thought of every person of every color for as long as time, as long as we've been here on this planet. And I think a lot of the fear is like, man, the reason why we don't want to give you guys power is because we know what we did with power. We exploited everybody else we came across. So we naturally think we transpose what we would do. So we scared to give anybody power because we know what we're capable of.
Right. We've raped, we've pillaged, we've imprisoned, we've killed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And for those people that think that that is the only option for a giant race war in the streets, for black people to take arms and just every black person with a gun shoot at every white person with a gun and vice versa. Whoever picks sides, whether it's everybody, brown, even, Mexican, Asian, whatever, against everybody white. For people who say that, for my old Confederacy people who hold on to that, be careful, what you wish for, because there are more shades of brown on this planet than there are Caucasian. So if you want to talk about the 13% of black people in the United States, if every American black held a gun against every so-called white person, okay, in your head you may win, but even if you do, you lost.
Yeah,
because with every eradication of every black man on this planet, black man, woman, and child on this planet, then you say goodbye to jazz, say goodbye to the blues,
Amen.
Say goodbye to hip hop, say goodbye to rock and roll, and all the other shit we invented that didn't get necessarily credit for. We are loving people, we are creative people. So just think about what would life look like on this planet without brown skin, period,
Right.
of all shades.
I feel like every place that I work, I end up being the office mom,
Okay.
right?
Talk about
And
it.
I just know that my worth and is worth more in wealth and gold just by being able to nurture every single person in my vicinity.
Yep.
And making them feel like they're the most important person in the world. If you get rid of black women, you get rid of community, you get rid of motherhood, you get I mean, I can't tell you how many young white women I've taught how to mother their children.
Right. And it also breaks my heart, and we're going to get into this too about dating, when a black man automatically is like, black women are too loud, they're too opinionated, they're too sassy, they have too many expectations, not considering that we are everybody's caretaker, including the black man. And, you know, like sometimes you have to show tough love. You can't just always be, soft and say, like, you got to hold people accountable. And if you want people to be
Their best
selves, you're going to call them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not going to condone you smoking weed and hanging out on the corner all day. And then you come home and throw your shit all over the room and then want me to cook a meal for you and be like, whatever you like. Like, we're in fucking...
Whatever kind of food you like.
Yeah. Be subservient like that. Like, I should have a partner. Someone that's like, how can I help you? How can we build together? That kind of thing. And then we're always put down for like having expectations and wanting to be appreciated and loved in some kind of way.
Black women are always put down for being assertive.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
Black woman is assertive. It's called aggression. It's called anger.
Anger.
Is called a lot of things, and
Right.
I don't think there's any creature on the planet more tolerant than a black woman.
Amen. More forgiving.
And I'll say this story. Once upon a time, there were black housekeepers, maids, midwives. I forget what the official term was, but shortly after slavery, these black nursemaids, midwives, I forget the term, I'll put the term on the screen, but they would be that main housekeeper of a white home. And often when the white lady of the house was raising her children and she was getting all too busy for all kinds of stuff because women are working now, right? And you had these black women who would nurse white children from her own breast.
Of course.
You know,
Before they could nurse their own.
Now, the irony of that is that the black woman's children, who was taking care of the white household, who were cleaning, cooking, cleaning pots, pans, and making meals, 3 meals a day for these white families, and nursing white children from her own breast, her children, were not allowed to go to school with the white children. I'm like, okay, we could swap DNA. I could live in your house. I can nurse your kids to health, but my children can't go to the same school as your children. So a lot of race, when you really start breaking down some of what was happening, or all of what was happening, race doesn't make sense because it's based in ego and it's based in vanity. Have y'all ever felt in dating non-brown, have y'all ever felt like your boyfriends at the time kind of put you in that assertive, aggressive, oh, you're hostile kind of box in the time that you were dating them? Or was there a time where they just so blatantly didn't understand your struggle that you felt like shaking?
Go ahead.
You've actually been married to people of non-colored, non-melanated. I don't know. Basically, white folks.
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah, for me, I've always kind of been in situations where I knew it wasn't gonna work. Like, people would tell me, you just need to find someone, maybe you should try dating a white guy or somebody that's not black or something along those lines. And I never felt like if I did that I would be seen or understood. Like, when I snatch off my wig and my cornrows, I don't need to be like, what's that? You see my cornrows.
Who would say that mostly? Black women or black men or a little bit of everybody would say that?
I would say that for me, for black, there's this experience of being black where a lot of things are just known and unspoken. You know how you do things like movie references, like little things like movie references, song references, cultural references.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can say something to my boyfriend who's black and he'll be like, ha ha, or like, I remember.
But you know my ex-husband, and you know he's like, ha ha ha.
That's
like,
true.
He culturally,
that's true.
Very sound.
But we also have days where like we talk about how we endured like the racism, or you know, whether it be subtle or full blown, or like I saw a cop and I got scared, I froze, and like I don't have to be like, why are you scared, honey? Or why did you freeze? Like, all I can say to him is, I'm glad you made it home safe.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But, you know, like, if dating someone that's not black, I've dated guys that have been Hispanic and East Indian and stuff. It's still very culturally different. And there's almost a level of like them not understanding racism to the extent that we as black people do. Like, they might have gotten it, but it was like at a lesser degree.
You just hit the nail on the head though. In terms of a successful relationship interracially, they have to know they can never understand. And not attempt to even to relate. That's when,
or tell you how to deal with it.
That's when we collide, right?
Yeah.
But I think that with both of my ex-husband and now my girlfriend, they are awesome in terms of even seeing it while it's happening. Like, ooh, did you see the way she just looked at you? Let's go now. But I don't think that's the norm.
No, it's not, because that hasn't been my experience.
No.
And where, you know, like even, you know, having the conversation of, okay, you like me and I like you and we've been dating for however long. When are you going to introduce me to your family?
Right.
And then that's always where the backtracking kind
issue.
of, I've had that happen before, where it's like, oh, I could take you home to my family anytime I wanted to, and they love you, and this, that, and the other.
And it never happens.
And it never happens, and you just go, right. So, like, and then, too, even dating online, I mean, let's just be real. People can be real bold online and on dating
you get
sites.
To be whoever you want to be.
And you get real nasty and stuff, but it's always like, hey, have you ever been with a white man before? Can I be your first? And like, if that's how you're coming at me right off the gate,
the answer is no.
The answer is no.
Wow.
And then the second answer is fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not here to let you live out your fantasies with a chocolate person or whatever, you know, because there's this, you know, we're assertive and we're feisty and we're freaks in the sheets and all of that. You know, I've heard that from men who are not black. And I'm just like, and then they also will make comments about black men and their genitalia and how they're always like,
that's the most vulgar conversation to be around.
Yes. And I'll tell you this, my boyfriend shared with me the other day, having a conversation with a white coworker, a friend or something, basically acknowledging like, yeah, a lot of white men are intimidated by like black men because of their supposed sexual prowess and all of that stuff.
It is a big thing.
It is a huge thing.
And I'm like, damn.
I don't think I'm the biggest guy in the world, but you figure I'm 6'1", I'm 215 pounds. And the way white men, even taller than me, will joke about how much larger I might probably am than them in their head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, wow, you know what I mean? And
how inappropriate.
It is real crazy.
Right.
So much so, I had a good friend of mine, I believe is maybe Italian, and Italian-Irish heritage or whatever. And we went overseas, and we went to the Dominican Republic, and he was quite taken back at how much attention I was getting. And I'm just like, I had to tell him, I'm like, they see somebody that looks like them, and in their minds, I made it. So they're paying me the attention.
That makes so much sense.
Right, because there was a lot of brown skin in the DR, and there was a lot of servitude, because their number one way of making money in the Dominican Republic is through tourism.
Yeah.
So how many white Americans go to the DR and live it up? Here it is. One of the black Americans has some American dollars, and somebody who looks like them is living it up. It was the first time I had money. Just graduated college. I'm 32. The economy is great. I'm balling out of control, and I'm overseas, and I had to check him. I'm like, look, I look like them, and to them, I'm not rich by any, and I wasn't rich then by any stretch. But I certainly was to them.
And it shows if they can make it. I had a similar experience in Puerto Vallarta. For some reason, whenever I'm in Mexico, people think I'm from Brazil. So
I can see that.
I can see that.
I can see that.
And they were just completely in awe, just doting, right, wherever I went. And that makes a lot of sense. Where they're like, wow.
Which, and I'm going to let you finish your thought, but it makes you wonder how deep the racism is, because my boy, I was sleeping over his house, I know his family, I play with his children, right? So on the surface, he's not racist. However, when we both went to the Dominican Republic and his white privilege
was revoked,
was gone, he felt away.
Absolutely.
You follow what I'm saying? So is he racist? Well, there are levels.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You are so right. There are
levels.
Well, I mean, the amount of white men that I have seen have temper tantrums at the idea that their racism is not going to be available to them anymore is astonishing. They are throwing literal fits at the idea of having to be kind and non-biased and have equitable traits in their everyday life.
Yes.
It is absolutely terrifying to them.
Because it's also, affirmative action. I am so sick of hearing about affirmative action.
Girl.
I'm like, I remember the current job that I have, I remember going into my interview and seeing a black face and thinking in my head, I ain't gonna get this job. They can't have more than one of us here.
Wow.
And so when I did get offered the job, I was actually shocked, because I was like, whoa.
That is so devastating.
Yeah.
And it's to the point now, I think, I don't know, my mom for many years has been very vocal about, and in a way that I hate white people, fucking devils, you know what I mean? And I'm like, Mom, chill. But the older I get, the more I'm like, I'm becoming intolerant.
Well, yeah.
And that is very scary to me.
My mom went to I posted about that too, but my mom went to segregated schools up until the time she was in junior high school. And I've asked her before, what was that experience like, being integrated? And she said, well, I was bused into a white school where the white kids teased and taunted all of us. We were niggers. The teachers didn't believe that we were smart enough to do the work or write the essays. And if we did do the work or write the essays, you plagiarized it, or you had somebody else do it. So it wasn't like integration made her equal to the white kids she went to school with. If anything, she suffered daily racism, being
more
buzzed
often
more often because she wasn't,
and to a higher degree.
Exactly. And that, I ended up going to predominantly elementary school back in Kansas, and I was part of a predominantly white Girl Scout troop, and I just loved my friends. And I never picked up on the undertones of comments about my hair, or was even aware of some of the comments.
How old were you?
I moved to California when I was 13, so between the ages of like 8 and 11.
Okay.
It was really where I kind of started noticing more, the comments about my hair being nappy. And like, look, if you put your fingers through it, it just stays there.
I always gotta say something bad. The naps, they're just curls. They're just curls for black people's curls. I don't know where the word naps came from. We may have to look that up off camera. But it's just black curls.
It's that thing, or obviously you know how to dance, or most black girls.
Which I cannot. So please stop assuming that I can.
I can.
Shoot. I'm like right here, babe. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Or I was always expected, to like know everything there was to know about like a black artist or something like that. What else? Like they would comment about how I tanned. When we were,
they can't believe it.
Right, when the Spice Girls
black
were a
people
thing.
Need vitamin D?
I was always Scary Spice because she was the black one.
Oh.
So it's like, it's those kind of things where you're just like, oh, that's no big deal, and you shrug it off. But like being a woman, a grown ass woman now, I was thinking that was kind of fucked up.
Oh,
and I also think like, but my friends didn't know any better because they learned it.
Girl.
And I wasn't aware enough to challenge them on it or stand up for myself or check them.
Before you speak, we gotta come back. Hold that thought. We'll be right back after this. We gotta get back to you and your relationships.
Oh yeah.
It's all right. We've reached break time. We'll be right back after this.
Has that been 20 minutes already?
Yeah, 20 minutes. Y'all got it.
Mule, noun, the offspring of a donkey and a horse, strictly a male donkey and a female horse, typically sterile and used as a beast of burden.
A beast of burden was my perception of myself, and we all know perception is reality, or do we? I certainly didn't know then what I know now, that my mind was being programmed by programs that told lies through vision. Some refer to television as tell-lie-vision. We interrupt this program to tell you the truth. Someone figured out a while ago that seeing was believing, so they sit on soapboxes like clever foxes, knowing that while you watch, they'll be washing your brain. They won't show you black love, brown progress, or tan success. They'd rather repress colors of the prism, using your mind as the prison. Again, seeing is believing. Is it a wonder why you rarely see any shades that resemble coffee, mocha, hickory, wood, caramel, gingerbread, or cinnamon? Many men don't wish death upon me. They pray for me to have a weak mind and a strong spine. However, there's a plan B, C, and D. In the event you don't fall in line, or better yet, let's say you rose above the fools, rejected rules, and totally refused to take on the burden of the mule, they'd just say, cool. Then they'd ask you to be a monk.
Monk, noun, a member of a religious community of men, typically living under vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience.
Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, arguably the most intelligent, eloquent, and relevant leaders of our time, could be a testament to this monk predicament. Both came fairly close to living monk-like, according to the definition. Both were the same mission, racism's abolition. a single goal with a doubled vision. One listened to those who supposed violence isn't the answer. Martin went that route and got taken out. Malcolm listened to those who grabbed the weapon by any means necessary, and he got buried. You may feel the Dalai Lama wouldn't have that karma. Teaching love, the Pope himself is behind bulletproof glass, so what does that tell you? It tells you that which you already know. Just like everyone wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die, many say, what would Jesus do? As if love is in short supply, also as if love is not who they really are, unprepared to carry the cross, wear the thorns, or bear the scars. Plan C demands a sacrifice. Now, isn't that nice?
Martyr, noun, a person who is killed because of their religious or other beliefs.
I could see how easily it would be to reach a crossroads where one is reluctant to choose love as a path. Since Martin, Malcolm, and Jesus of Nazareth all felt the wrath of those who chose fear. And to be fair, the greatest optimist has quite possibly experienced the illogical whims of someone sponsored by love's opposite. So if you wish to be an occupant of this third dimension without the consequence of the mule, the monk, or the martyr, you may consider mastery.
Master, noun, a skilled practitioner of a particular art or activity. Master, adjective, having or showing great skill or proficiency.
I am not here to tell you how to live, what to experience, or how. However, what I am prepared to give is a testimony that hopefully turns a bleak state of affairs into something positive. Mastery in a spiritual context is being the highest version of yourself you can possibly be. Do your best to not perceive death as an end. What happens next? Well, I guess we'll see. Just keep one of my early lines in mind when I said your perception is your reality. So why not let your thoughts be free? Graffiti, Jacqueline Howard, for you.
We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach